My wife has more of a spending habit than me, and we're trying to deal with it.
I find it very, exciting shopping. It makes me happy.
Oh, I love that.
We'll just buy it on credit and then pay it later, but then when later comes, we don't really have the money for it.
You want to leave the phone till next month?
Well, I guess we'll have to. We're at the point now where it's like we have to call or wherever we owe money to and say, okay, you know what, this is our situation.
Do you want to call them this time? Oh, man.
If we're fighting, it has to do with money.
Money, 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 money.
My name is Jennifer. I'm a legal worker. I've been married to Rick for 3 years.
I'm a material handler in a distribution center. Between my wife and I, we have a combined income of $97,000.
We have 2 kids. Jessica, she's 12, and our youngest is Megan, and she's 10 months. When he met me, he had RSPs, and he had savings, and he had a credit card. And since he's met me, he's lost all those things.
We went to payday loan places. That took a lot of our money.
You can end up owing them $1,100 for the $500 that you borrowed in the first place.
Who wants to file bankruptcy, really?
Rick had already declared bankruptcy once. We ended up having to do it again.
It just keeps building and building and building, and then all of a sudden it gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, now what?
This month, I'll help this couple move from red to black. I've been solving money problems for over 20 years, tackling everything from high finance to low income. I help people understand money and debt, which is still a huge mystery for most folks. And it's the #1 reason couples split up. So now I'm making house calls. To most people, bankruptcy is unthinkable. To Jennifer and Rick, it's routine. They've already gone bankrupt twice and they're headed there again. And they're dragging their family into their debt, owing them thousands of dollars. I'm here to help them get from red to black.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Gail Voss-Oxlade. If you don't mind, I'd just like to drop my bag and have a look around. What a beautiful baby's room. And this must be Jessica's room, because it's got lots of clothes in the closet. Rumor has it your mother has 10,000 pairs of shoes.
There's
She has shoes of every color and style. Rick's got 1 pair of shoes. I have looked at your interviews, and I have been through 6 months' worth of financial papers. And here's what I see. You're spending gobs of money more than you have. You went to the bank machine 104 times in 6 months, which resulted in you ratcheting up $72 a month in banking fees.
Oh my God. That's embarrassing.
It is.
Do you get your bank statements?
Yes.
Do you look at them?
No.
I don't think you've taken the bankruptcies seriously. There are some people for whom bankruptcy is such a stigma that they never do it again. I don't think you're those people. Bankruptcy shouldn't be taken lightly. You lose control of your assets, you can't get any credit, and your financial record is scarred for 7 years. It is time to get into the present, figure out what it is you want, and then let's move forward, because we're not going to get anywhere close to what you want to achieve doing it this way. You think you're spending about $400 a month on food, but you're actually spending more than double that.
Oh.
You also think you're spending about $200 on clothes, but again, we're almost at the double mark, $384.
That's not monthly, is it?
Yes, it is. Here's the number I really have a problem with. You're spending over $2,000 a month in cash.
It's not just me. Don't look at me. Just
It
me.
gets worse. When I add up your numbers, what I find is you're spending 150% of your income, or $2,000 a month, more than you make.
How can we do that if we don't have any credit?
You're managing by not paying bills.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Gotcha.
Keep it up, and in 5 years, you're going to be $178,000 in debt.
I knew that we were spending money and we didn't know where it was going, but I didn't know it was that much because I'd never really looked at the figure before.
This is not going to be easy, but if you're prepared to do what it takes, then I'm prepared to help guide you through it. I need you to promise me that you're going to do what needs to be done. Say it.
I promise.
I promise to do whatever Gail says in order to get over this hurdle and move forward. I'm going to give you some challenges to do. And if you do the challenges, I will give you up to $5,000. No success, no money.
Sounds like a plan.
So the first thing I would like you to do is go and bring me your debit cards
Right now?
right now.
Okay. But all of them?
All of them.
You're not gonna cut them, are you? We're not used to people telling us like how to manage our money. So when someone comes in and automatically takes things away and tells you how to, basically you only have a set amount of money to run for the whole month. I mean, it's a shock.
Up next, Jennifer and Rick struggle to live on a strict cash budget. But can they handle the harsh reality of living with no credit? I don't want you to cry. I'm not going to take your baby's baptism away from you.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Jennifer and Rick have gone bankrupt twice. And even though they make $97,000 a year, they still have trouble paying bills. Jennifer's admitted she's a shopaholic, but not for long. This month, they'll live by my rules. For the next month, this couple will learn to live on a strict cash budget. No more credit cards. They'll complete weekly challenges to tackle their money and relationship issues. And if they're willing to change, I'll reward them with thousands of dollars. No changes, no money. Come on, bring me your cards. What's the matter, baby?
My daughter's getting baptized on Sunday.
You need your debit cards.
Yep.
How much is the baptism?
In total, probably close to 400.
So what were you not going to pay this month to have the baptism?
The loan that we have.
It's going to be okay. I'm not going to take your baby's baptism away from you. I just want you to be aware that you can't just keep spending money you don't have. Go check on the baby, and I'm going to put these somewhere where they're not going to do you any damage. No, they're gone.
At the time, it felt like she cut her legs out from under us.
Baby Megan's baptism is going to cost $400, so their first month will be even tougher than I planned. They'll have to pinch from other areas of their new budget to get by. In these jars, I have some money that's going to help you make your commitment. No more tears.
Okay.
I've done a quick adjustment on your budget and identified the variable expenses that if you pool them together, you can use it to pay for the baptism. There are two parts to a budget. There are the fixed expenses like your rent and your transportation, and there are your variable expenses. What's significant here is that I am cutting your variable expenses, the amount you spend, by 75%. Before I met Rick and Jennifer, $2,000 in cash was slipping through their hands each month. My new budget forces them to tighten their belts. Every time you spend a penny, you're going to write it down here. So you will be living on $900 this month. But you will also have saved $100 and put $60 away for an emergency. My goal isn't just to reduce their debt. I want Jennifer and Rick to deal with the issues that put them in debt. I brought you in here because I want you to have a look around and see all the stuff in Jessica's room. Rick, your challenge this week is you're going to track every time Jessica asks for a cent, be it to buy a stick of gum or a new pair of fabulous jeans, just like we've done a budget for you guys, and we have a handle on what you're spending, we need to have a sense of what she's spending. Having a teenage daughter can be pricey. I want Rick to become aware of what they spend on Jessica. Jennifer, I believe you have a little tiny tax return that needs to be done. Yeah. So this week, you are going to do your tiny tax return, and that will get you well on the way to getting this financial house in order. Tax forms can be overwhelming. Jennifer just needed a little push. I've set her up with a laptop and some software to guide her through filling out her overdue tax return.
You should see this, Rick. It just calculates everything for you. It's very cool. His or her net income for 2004.
You can enter information for your spouse or common law partner using the same T-slip entry window.
I never knew it talked.
Me either. Has my marital status changed since December 31st, 2003?
You wish.
I didn't file my return. I calculated a rough copy, and I figured out that I owed quite a bit of money, so I didn't file it at the time.
Rick, can I have some money?
For what?
The dance is $6 to get in, and then I want to buy some candy and stuff.
How much did you want for lunch?
$5.
Tell me all about the week and about your challenges.
The week was hectic.
Yes.
Lots of spending on the baptism.
Did you stay within the $400 budget?
Just a little over, but we stayed pretty much with it.
How did you do with your challenges?
I got my tax return done.
Jennifer owes $700 in overdue taxes. Since they don't have the money, it's yet another item for the debt column. How did you do tracking Jessica?
It was pretty easy. I mean, she didn't ask
for much?
She didn't ask for a whole lot, no.
They may have done well in their first challenges, but the big test for these two will be surviving the rest of the month on a budget that's been cut by 75%. You had $900 in total in the jars. So how much money do you actually have left in the jars?
120.
You have $120 left to last you till the end of the month.
Correct.
They've spent nearly 90% of their budget and it's only week 1. How are you going to live on $120 for 3 weeks? So you think you have enough food in this house to last you till the end of the month? Mm-hmm. If you tell me you can get to the end of this month on $120, I believe you.
Okay.
And this will be a test of whether you got this. Ultimately, when the money runs out, you gotta stop shopping.
I think that we did okay considering it was our first week on a budget. So, and we had such a huge expense in that week.
Rick, Jessica is going on an allowance. You're going to give her $30 a month as spending money and $50 a month for buying her own clothes. If she sees a great pair of jeans she wants and it costs $75, then it means that she may have to wait a month to do that because this is a life skill. This is something you are going to need the rest of your life.
This is nice. Why don't you try these on?
Jessica tends to see having money for herself as for herself and thinks that it's us that's got to buy her everything that she needs. And she's going to have to kind of learn to adjust that.
Now we turn to your shopping. You shop for entertainment. It is the way you relax. And sometimes you buy things that you probably don't need. So your challenge this week is you are banned from the malls. Up next, can Jennifer stay out of the malls? And can money savvy make its way into a new generation?
But you can't have it.
What do you mean?
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Jennifer and Rick have been spending $2,000 a month more than they earn, until now. I've put them on a strict cash budget. Jennifer is breaking her shopping habit, and Rick is teaching Jessica how to be smart about money. If they get it right, I'll give them up to $5,000 to help them get ahead.
My challenge this week is not to go shopping in my lunch hours. We'll walk by the flower shop, and you guys can go in, but I can't. Don't buy anything. Kind of weird standing out here while they're in there. Come back, come back. Did you buy something? You know you buy something you don't need.
Yeah.
And
That's why you put it on hold.
My challenge for this week, ironically, is to give you an allowance. You're going to get $80 a month. $50 of it is for clothes or whatever it is that you need.
Like need or want?
And then you get $30, okay, of the 80 for spending.
As in spending.
It's not $30 because remember we're taking $6
right.
away for sharing and saving. Okay.
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 That's like just the cash you keep on
Right.
you. And
Exactly.
then
That's what it's for. But
Yeah.
you got to be wise with it because
Yeah.
once it's gone, it's gone.
I know.
So from this point on, you're going to learn the value of money.
Yeah.
Okay, and the importance of it.
The golden rule of savings is to put away 10% of everything you make. You could also teach children to set aside 5% for sharing.
Believe me, by the time you're 18 years old, you know how to save a buck, as opposed to some other people. I hope I did a good job. I mean, we'll see in the future how it goes.
You had some interesting challenges. How did it go?
It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be.
Did you stay out of the malls?
Yes.
Did you feel pinched?
No.
Good. So this is working well.
Yeah, so far.
How did you do, buddy?
You went all right. It was a little...
Just all right? How did Jessica respond?
She responded well.
Does she like the idea of having her own money?
What child doesn't like that for own money?
Now, I know you didn't have any money lessons when you were growing up, so this is sort of a generational thing. We're breaking the cycle. And this week, the challenge is about dealing with the debt, the albatross that seems to keep haunting you guys. Now, who do you owe money to?
Let's see. My mom.
It'd be easier to tell you we don't owe money to.
My grandmother.
My sister.
His aunt.
This week, what you have to do is you have to come up with the plan that allows you to give these people post-dated checks, whether it be over 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, it doesn't matter. Create the post-dated check packages, set up an evening of nibblies, say this is where we are, this is a new life that we're living, this is how I'm gonna make a change.
It's just making ourselves do it. That's all it is. I mean, we just got to make ourselves pay them back.
Jennifer and Rick have decided to start their payback plan with Jen's mum, Linda, and Rick's sister, Pam.
You both know that we've been doing some things to improve our financial situation. And this week our challenge is to pay back debts that we owe to our family members.
Oh, yeah, you need to learn that at a very young age.
So this one is for you.
Thank you.
And this one is for you.
Thank you. This is unexpected and a real pleasure. Frankly, I've given the money to her, never expecting to get the money returned. Thank you for honoring your debt.
It takes practice. All the words in the world are not going to prove to them that this will happen until they see that the checks are cashable.
Up next, the final verdict. Have Jennifer and Rick's efforts paid off? Is their financial future any brighter?
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Jennifer and Rick were sliding towards a third bankruptcy. And their list of creditors included family. If they're committed to dumping their debt, they could earn up to $5,000. It's nice to be with the whole family today. How did you do this week?
Okay, went all right.
Everybody was receptive.
They were surprised, like they were pleasantly surprised to hear from us.
How long do you think it's going to be before the family is paid off?
It's about 7 months.
Have you taken any steps with regard to the unpaid taxes yet?
Yeah, I sent them in with some checks.
So we're cleaning up the decks.
Yes,
So did you manage to make it till the end of the month before you got to the end of the money?
pretty close.
Do you have anything left?
$20.
Really? You are on a very tight budget. So I'm very surprised to hear that. When I got here, things were pretty dire. We were looking at about $175,000 in debt in 5 years if you didn't change the way you were doing things. We've solved that problem. We've also created some savings for the future, and you have been real troopers. When I saw what you had spent in that first week, I sort of went, how are they going to make it till the end of the month? But you did it. And so I have for you $5,000.
Ching, ching. We have more control over what we're doing now. All the things that we've learned are very important, especially if you want to get to to a place where you're more financially secure.
Do you know what this is?
It's a cap from graduation.
I have for you a present. I'd like you to open it and read it.
Okay. Jennifer and Rick, you have focused your future dreams on your greatest gifts to your daughters. We know the importance you place on their education. Oh, gosh. And we will make the first step for Jessica and Megan. Choose an RSP plan. We will contribute $250 for each girl to get you started. Their future is in your hands.
You're welcome. This month, Jennifer and Rick learned to dodge debt. Jennifer stayed out of the malls, and Rick got young Jessica started on an allowance, turning things around for the next generation. None of this was easy, but now they're on the right track.
You're going to university. Yes, you are.